In today's video, we're going to talk through the most common driver mistake that we see in golfers, both in lessons and when playing. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to Get Good at Golf. If you want to get good at golf, make sure you do get good at golf and hit that subscribe button and throw a like on this video. So what is the biggest mistake that we see? A lot of it often comes from people trying to hit the driver as hard as they physically can, trying to hit the driver too far, as it were. But I'm a massive believer there's no such thing as hitting the driver too hard. As long as you can stay in balance, as long as you can hit that fairway there, that one, that very fairway, because the most important fairway is the fairway that's just in front of you, and then keep moving forward from there. Now, how do we do that? Because the biggest problem I see is a sequencing mistake. It generally leads to people slicing the driver, it leads to people pulling the driver. It can also lead to lots of different striking issues that's basically going to cost you ball speed. We all know that club head speed is a really important factor and the correct sequence can really help you with that. But what a lot of people don't realise is that ball speed is more important than club head speed. Ball speed happens when you hit it from here, right there, right out the middle of the face, not there, not there, not there, and in Chris's case, not there either. You're really going to struggle to get that ball speed. You're going to struggle to get a nice consistent spin rate if your sequencing is incorrect. So how do I know the sequencing is incorrect? You'll generally be able to tell from your ball flight and from your distance as well. If you feel like you should be hitting your driver further, definitely check out your sequencing. Ask your local PGA Pro, ask your coach, just to have a quick look at your sequencing and see how you could maybe help, maybe throw some drills in. Chris has got some fantastic drills for this, so make sure you do stay tuned right to the end of this video. But I want to look at upper body and lower body, because so often, we have covered this on the channel before, but not just in one video. You'll see people who take the club away just in kind of a one-piece movement here. You can see but I can stand and talk to you all day long from here, no problem. And it's just a big turn, really. So if I were to hit a shot like this, I could get lucky and square the club face up. That's just trundling towards that fairway. It's not the best strike, and to be honest, it's not gone very far. The problem with that is you're not coiling, you're not turning, you're not loading that club up to be able to hit long drives. So if I don't separate my upper and lower body, first of all, at all, but then correctly, you're really going to struggle to hit long straight drives. So if I were to do that, how do I separate my upper and lower body? Do I want to stand at the ball and move my lower body first and then upper body? No. You'll see that didn't look right, did it? That looked a little bit out of sync. It wants to be the opposite way around. I want to start from the ground up in the downswing. So we're going to reverse it a little bit. So if I were to start this backswing with the club here, that's good. You'll see my lower half hasn't moved. All I'm doing is setting that club out nicely. So from here, once I've got this club to parallel and I'm starting to set it with my wrists, that's when I'm going to let my lower body coil up as well. So I've gone upper body first with the chest, with the shoulders, with the arms, with the torso. Then the lower body's moved, the hips, the legs have separated a little bit, as you can see. And from here, I'm in a really good position to reverse that sequence. So if I'm at the top of the backswing here now, my sequence on the way down, as I mentioned earlier, starts from the ground up. So I want those hips to move, I want that torso to move. From here, the chest covers the ball. Then I start to release that club face. And we all know that with a driver, that ball position is ever so slightly forward. Why is that? That's because I want to hit up on the ball. I want the low point of the driver to be pre-ball. And if we do all those things, you're going to hit longer drives and straighter drives. This is something which so many people don't fail to understand, but fail to put into practice. So if we can do this and you can do the drills that Chris is going to give you in a moment, you should be able to hit lovely drives down the fairway, just like that one. You don't need to be the tallest, you don't need to be the quickest, you don't even need to have lots and lots of speed. Just have the right sequence, give yourself a chance, and that's going to help you hit longer drives, straighter drives, and damn right, get good at golf.
So guys, great points there from James, and if you are looking to improve your game, or if it's online lessons or in-person lessons, then please do drop us an email on that email below. So James makes some good points there. We need to work on your sequence, we need to get obviously in balance with as much speed as possible, and that's the key. We want to see you having as much speed as possible, but being able to stay in this balanced finish. I want you to swing as hard as you can without falling over. We know that a lot comes from setup. If we're in a strong setup, we've got a strong base, we've got our feet solid on the ground, weight throughout, we're going to really be able to load up to the top of our swing and really generate a nice strong move into the downswing. And that's essential, but we need to make sure we get a good backswing, because a lot of people think, well, I've done everything James said, I've got my setup, but then we start to see that the backswing, they feel like, oh yeah, I am taking it away there, but then they get into this kind of position at the top, oh yeah, I'm loaded. Well, you're loaded on the left side, and then from there we have to throw ourselves off. Yes, the lower body might have gone first, but the lower body's pushing us back, and we're going to end up opening that club face, leaving it out to the right, using the hands, hitting a top, hitting a slice. So we want to build the perfect backswing. From there we can load onto our right hand side, we can then generate power coming down. So to do that, we can do a nice drill here where you make some swings, and as you do your backswing, I want you just to feel like you can do it in relatively slow motion. As you do that, we bring this left foot back. You see here, I'm able to keep my balance, that right leg is loaded up, I'm over the right hand side, and I would then be able to push off and down and hit that shot. You'll see that my sternum will then stay behind the ball. I'm pushing off with the right foot and opening that lower body. I'm not going to hit full shots with it, so I'm not going to be trying to hit it 300 yards there. I'm just going to be trying to go, okay, can I do that? If I'm in my setup, can I feel like I bring that leg back? Yeah, I'm nice and loaded. And then what we might do from there is just hit some shots and see, can I turn through and get it launching straight. If I can do that, I know that I'm getting into the right position. I'm keeping behind the ball, but I'm then also pressuring it, even with that left foot slightly back. So if we can do that, great. We know we're getting a good backswing. But what you might start to see is when you do this, your tendency might to be fall this way, because you're so used to loading up on this side. You might start to feel like you slip forward, you don't keep your balance. That's a telltale sign that that is exactly what you're doing, and that's why you're not optimizing your drives, hitting it straight, hitting it down the middle, and hitting it past your friends in your group. You then might see as well, you might be somebody who really moves off the golf ball. You might be somebody who does this and falls back. Again, you're straight away getting feedback, because all the drills that you are to do, it's all about feeling real. It's about feeling right. Am I actually doing this or am I doing that? I feel like I'm doing it right, but the reality is that you are moving off the ball, you're swaying too much, because you've seen all these videos of load up onto the right. We're now swaying off. We're not being able to get into that strong backswing. So by doing that, again, we're going to be building a much more stable base to turn off from. So once we've done that a few times and you've hit a couple down the middle, you've started to get an understanding of where your release is, and we can get it going down the middle of your driving range. Then we want to put that into play. We then want to come into it, think, okay, right, let me do it now. Maybe let's just do a swing over the ball where I just feel like I'm over that right hand side, but I've not moved off and I'm not weighted on my left hand side. I feel comfortable with that, and then we can really come in, feel like we hit it as hard as we can in balance. And that's really going to help you hit longer, straighter drives, hit more fairways, then hopefully hit more greens, and get good at golf.